Do you wish that you could stop doubting your partner and start feeling that sense of peace that you know your relationship should be experiencing by now? Relationship anxiety affects far too many couples today, but with so many ways to slip up, is there really any wonder why that is? Hi. I'm Jarrels, licensed marriage and family therapist, and I help couples find their happy. Unnecessary worry about your partner can quickly cause relationship anxiety. You might be saying, how can I possibly trust anyone again when I've been hurt so many times? Probably even sounds impossible, right? Well, it doesn't have to. Give me a minute to change your mind. Also, be sure to stick around to the end of this video because I've got a special bonus technique that is going to make managing your and your partner's relationship anxiety simple. The first thing we need to do is figure out what anxiety is in the context of a relationship. Okay, we've all felt anxiety before. It's that strange, uneasy feeling, down in the pit of our stomach that tells us something is about to happen that shouldn't, right? It's that sense of dread about what is to come or what might be. It's a way of looking into the future and looking at it through negativity. Some of the symptoms of anxiety, especially in a relationship, are that you can't stop thinking about something that your partner is going to do or that the relationship is about to end. There's a constant sense of worry around you, your partner, or your relationship that something's about to screw up. Something bad is about to happen. And if that's what you're feeling, you're probably in the midst of relationship anxiety. It affects relationships because relationships are meant to be based on mutual respect and trust. And when that respect and trust isn't there, then anxiety kicks in because we're unsure about what they're doing, what they're saying, who they're talking to, where they are, and those types of feelings can manifest themselves and grow and grow and grow and end up killing a relationship. So the second thing we need to think about is our communication. Okay, what type of communication do we have with our partner? It is critically important that you have open and honest communication with your partner. Knowing that you can tell them anything and you can be honest with them about the way you're feeling and what's going on in your life is the key to connectedness. If you want to stay connected with your partner, you need to be able to build trust, and you do that by being honest. One of the things you're going to need to know how to talk to your partner about is the anxiety that you're feeling. And so how do we share with our partner how anxious we're feeling without exposing the fact that we're nervous about the relationship? We don't. We explain and tell our partner that we are in fact nervous about the relationship. We're honest about why, and we open up to them and clearly explain to them what's going on. Now, we need to do this in a way that isn't accusatory. When you're talking about your partner and you're talking about your anxiety, your feelings, our feelings are our own, and they're not caused by the actions of other people. Now, we very often say, you're making me feel anxious. You're making me nervous. And it isn't that at all. It's, I'm nervous about the way you're acting. Okay, so you're nervous yourself. Now, what is it about the way they're acting or what they're doing that's making you feel nervous? So you can say, I feel nervous when I see you do ABC. Or I feel anxious when I hear that you have 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. It's critical that you own it. Because the minute that you start to be accusatory, you make me feel this way. When you say that, people get defensive, they stop hearing you, and then they block out everything you're saying after that. And because we need to keep clear, open, and honest communication that is two-way, we've got to do it in a way that owns our own feelings and that makes space for the other people to have theirs. The next thing is setting boundaries. Very often, couples forget to establish clear boundaries of what's expected and what's unexpected, right? What they want and what they don't want. And when we're unclear on that, it makes it easy for our partners to overstep bounds that we thought were clear that they didn't understand. Making sure that we respect each other's boundaries is important, not only in building trust, but in alleviating the stress and the anxiety that we feel when they're not in our presence. All right, the next thing is coping strategies. What do we do if we're feeling anxiety even though we don't want to? What is it that we can do in order to bring ourselves back into a nice, easy, comfortable state? Because anxiety is difficult. It starts to kick in, it takes over your sympathetic nervous system, you feel the pit in your stomach, you feel your mouth getting dry, you can feel your chest tightening. We need to be able to calm those reactions down. Some of the things that we can do are mindfulness, relaxation, and deep breathing. So if you're in a place where there's a bunch of people around you, you may not be able to close your eyes and go into a meditative state, but you can take nice, slow, deep, intentional breaths, and that will help to calm you down. And especially if you're trying to bring yourself down into a more relaxed state, breathe in for the count of 4 and out for the count of 8. That will slow down your heart rate and make you feel more relaxed. The second is being mindful. Being mindful of the place you're in, the space you're in, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Now, I don't always tell people, especially in an anxious state, to start becoming very mindful of what's going on within their bodies, because too often they'll feel their heart racing, they'll start to even hear their heart pounding in their ears, and they'll start to get panicky. So don't focus on what's going on within. Focus on what's going on without. Look around you, see that you're safe, see everything else that's going on that's taking place. Start to count the items, count the things, check out the lights, look at the flooring. Just preoccupy your mind with what's going on around you. Maybe people, maybe places, maybe things, stuff that's happening. When you do that, you take yourself out of your mind and you put it into the space you're in. That's going to help you relax. That, in combination with the breathing technique that we just talked about, will help to get you into a very relaxed state much quicker than otherwise would. Now, these strategies can help you not only feel more relaxed when you're feeling anxious, but it can actually help with your overall well-being. And the reason I say that is when you're in that state of anxiety, your sympathetic nervous system kicks in, so it stops your digestion. It kicks in cortisol. Some things start happening in your body that you don't necessarily need, because sympathetic nervous system kicks in, what, right? It's supposed to help you what? Flee from a bear or a tiger that's about to attack you. And when we're feeling anxiety, that entire system kicks on and it's revving up, and then we're just sitting there trying to be calm and trying to relax and try and swallow all of it. So it's not something that should be able or allowed to continue within your body physiologically for an extended period of time, because it can be detrimental to your health. So be sure that you calm yourself down very, very quickly and don't allow yourself to stay in that state long term. The next thing you can do when the anxiety is about to happen, okay, is to recognize what your triggers are. When you know what causes the anxiety before it happens, you can avoid those triggers or be mindful of them when they happen and not allow them to activate you and make you feel anxious. You can say, I recognize that. I know it normally makes me feel bad, but I intend for it not to this time. I intend to feel calm through that trigger this time. Knowing the things that are going to cause you anxiety before they take place allow you to head them off at the pass. So if you know that every time your significant other goes out with the girls or goes out with the guys, that gives you a lot of anxiety, then maybe head it off early and say, hey, would you mind letting me know where you're going? Maybe texting me when you get there. Checking in from time to time. You're going to know the things that are going to cause you the anxiety, so head them off before it happens. If it's, man, every time you go out with your friends, I'm worried because one of them might be driving and get into trouble or something might happen, and so when I don't talk to you for 3 hours, it makes me worry. Maybe if they drop you a text every 30 minutes, it can take away and ease those anxieties that would otherwise kick in. Now, if your partner is feeling anxious, what do we do then? If your partner has those anxious feelings, those anxious anxieties kicking in, how do you comfort your partner? Do you tell them, oh my gosh, why are you feeling this way again? You need to stop it. You need to calm down. Or are you supportive in saying, what is it that's causing you to feel this way? What is it that you feel, or what are you thinking that's bringing upon these emotions, this flood of anxiety? What is it that's going on in your mind that's causing you to feel this way? By doing that, you're showing support without being, too overly soft or too enabling. We don't want to overemphasize, lean into that feeling, like go for it. But if we can find out what's causing it, then we can help to deter it in the future and to help alleviate the symptoms now. All right, what can we do to help alleviate some of the anxiety symptoms that happen or that are going to happen in the future? One of the main things we can do is to build trust with one another. Now, how do we build trust? It's mutual trust and respect is the hallmark of a good relationship. So how do we build it? We build it. That's the key, is that we give each other small things to trust each other on. And when they or you take that little bitty piece of trust, that little bit of trust, and you help grow it, you expand it and make it into something bigger than it was. When you do that, you're helping to grow and build trust between the two of you. If you take that trust and you break it, then you're not building trust. So of course the other person is going to feel anxious. And if the other person breaks your trust, of course you're going to feel anxious about that. Should you feel anxious over that? I don't know. Why are they breaking your trust? And is that someone you even want to be in a relationship with? You've got to ask some really important questions that if you're unable to build trust with the person you're with and you're constantly living in a state of anxiety, then is that something you want to deal with or put up with? Or is it your and your partner's shared goal to get rid of or alleviate, to eliminate that anxiety within the relationship so that you can both experience a peaceful, respectful, mutual relationship that's built on genuine love? Let's recap the main points. Understanding what anxiety is in a relationship is important because then we can avoid it and eliminate it. Number 2, communication is key. When we can openly and honestly communicate with our partners, we can talk our way through anything. Number 3, managing your anxiety. Knowing ways to manage it and to eliminate it are critical. Number 4, recognizing the triggers that activate you or your partner's anxiety are important because you can learn to avoid them and eliminate them. Last but not least, the importance of building trust in your relationship is the foundation to building respect and a relationship that will last. Congratulations on making it to the bonus section in this video. I'm about to share with you a powerful technique that is going to help you manage your relationship anxiety, not only for you, but your partner as well. It's called the 3 R's, which are recognize, reframe, and respond. The first step in recognizing anxiety is to recognize that it's happening. Okay, so when you sense that it's happening, you recognize it, and then you can do something about it. But until you realize that it is in fact anxiety about something in particular, you can't do anything about it. So first, recognize that you're starting to experience it, or recognize it in your partner. Once you've recognized what your anxiety is and what it's about, it's time to reword it and reframe it into a more positive light. A quick example of this is if you're feeling nervous about something, rather than saying, oh, I'm feeling really anxious about being really nervous that I'm not going to do a good job, instead say, I am so excited that I can feel myself getting all of this extra anticipation about the fact that I'm going to be doing something new. Okay, reframe the feelings that you're feeling into a positive thing and not a negative thing. Don't call it fear, call it excitement, because realistically, they're about this close to each other anyway. Finally, once you've recognized, reframed, it's now time to respond to what's going on. Don't try and run away from the feelings that you're having or that you're feeling physiologically in your body. Rather, lean into them. You know that you're starting to breathe heavy? Stop and control your breathing. Breathe deeply and slowly and tell yourself, I'm okay with the way I feel and I intend to feel even better. By doing that and responding to the way you're feeling and to what's going on inside your body physiologically, you're not trying to deny it, you're trying to claim it and take it over yourself. All right, by utilizing these techniques, you're not only going to make relationship anxiety something that you used to have, but something that is no longer scary. So when you start to feel the anxiety kicking in, you can simply reframe it and respond differently. Okay, that's all I've got for this video. If you found it informative, please do like and subscribe and share any experiences that you have with your relationship anxiety or something that's worked for you so that we can all share in the benefits. Thanks for watching.